How's it going, everyone? And boy oh boy, the big game releases are really heating up. We just came off the heels of the release of Black Myth Wukong. Sure, Star Wars Outlaws didn't turn out all too well, but here is the next heavy hitter, and one that I have been incredibly excited for a while, and I think as we're inching closer and closer to the release, the anticipation level for a lot of people is really heightening with the release of Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Now, there were a lot of people that played the original Space Marine, and then there are those people that I think have just seen gameplay of Space Marine 2 and are like, holy hell, this game looks absolutely awesome. From a technical standpoint, gameplay standpoint, content standpoint, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is shaping up to be one of the standouts of the year, and I think if you haven't played the first game, don't worry too much about it. It's not like it's readily accessible on PlayStation or Xbox anyway. And the PC release is actually quite a bit more expensive than you would think it would be for the original Space Marine. We're gonna talk all about Space Marine 2, go over the various editions of the game, because yes, this is another game that does have the early access gimmick. But before we get into this video, do want to give a shout to our good friends at Green Man Gaming, who do have Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 discounted. Obviously, for the PC version of the game, I know a lot of you guys are going to pick it up on Steam. They've got the base game 13% off for $52.19. The Gold Edition 13% off for $78.29. That's what grants you early access, quote-unquote early access. And the Ultra Edition 13% off for $87 as well. The game is due out on September the 9th. If you buy the Gold or Ultra Edition, it is playable from September the 5th. Not a fan of it. We'll go over what's available in each edition as well as the PC system requirements at the end of this video. But right off the top, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 has you embody as the same character from the original title. Embody the superhuman skill and brutality of a Space Marine, unleash deadly abilities and devastating weaponry to obliterate the relentless Tyranid swarms and defend the Imperium in spectacular third-person action in solo or multiplayer modes. This game has a huge emphasis on multiplayer gameplay. Yes, you can play the entirety of the campaign solo, but you can also play it with up to 3 players. That's 2 other people alongside yourself. So keep that in mind. The game is set a century after the first game. Captain Demetrian Titus is a genetically enhanced super soldier and hero of the Ultramarines. He comes back and now has to prove himself and must face against the Tyranids thrown into the thick of war. Throughout the game, you are going to see some pretty impressive sights. With hundreds of enemies on screen running and swooping, you'll have to repel the Tyranid invasion and rid the Xenos threat in a variety of different locations. And the visuals as far as the scenery and environments look fantastic in that regard. One of the more technically impressive games that you're going to come across in tons of epic and varied locations as well. Throughout the main campaign, after missions, you'll go into the battle barge. This is your headquarters, which will allow you to reconvene, tailor your loadout to each individual mission, and gather intel from various characters. Now, you'll have a wide variety of equipment that you'll be able to go with, and you can go with a more balanced approach that might be beneficial in certain instances. As mentioned, you'll have a wide variety of weapons that'll offer a different gameplay style. You'll be able to tear through enemies with the chainsaw. You'll have the meta rifle, the thunder hammer, tons of weapons, and you'll be able to pick and choose what you want to use. And then obviously, after you beat the story campaign, the fun doesn't stop there, and really the depth of the gameplay opens up a lot more after that. There is the co-op operations mode where you play as one of 6 classes, unique skills and abilities across them. You have a sniper, long-range attacks with him, Bulwark has a shield, Vanguard's got grappling, a variety in the classes as well. And the more missions you play in that mode, you'll earn cosmetics and XP and armory data to spend in the battle barges as well for upgrades and new weapons. After the co-op component, you of course have your classic PvP mode as well, a 6v6 game mode where arenas are inspired by the game's rich settings, a variety of game modes with a deathmatch, seize ground, capture and control, your typical stuff that you are offered in a multiplayer PvP action shooter experience, but with a Warhammer twist and a Space Marine twist. Gonna be a lot of fun to go through that as well. Speaking of replayability, I do want to cover a couple of things. You might be wondering about DLC, cosmetics, future content. So, right off the top, all gameplay content and features are going to be free to all players in the future. Paid DLCs will be cosmetic only. However, it should be noted that there's been a lot of rhetoric going around that the game features no microtransactions. There's a lot of articles about the game featuring no microtransactions. In my personal opinion, if you are selling cosmetics in your game, I'm pretty sure that qualifies as a microtransaction. Don't quote me on that. That is my personal opinion. You guys may disagree, but those are going to be cosmetics. And then you've got a lot of content rollouts that are to come. They've got a year one battle plan already in place. September is going to kick off season 1. And free updates are going to come with the ultra-wide support private PvE lobbies, battle barge, and sparring arena. You'll have a season pass with the Ultramarines cosmetic pass as well, and then Dark Angels champion pack, cosmetic pack, and weapon skin pack as well. Season 2, they are noting new PvE missions. The lethal difficulty is going to be added, a new pistol is going to be added, and a new enemy is going to be added as well. That is coming later in 2024 with Season 2. Season 3 and Season 4 are scheduled for 2025. Season 3 will bring with it new PvE missions, new PvP game modes, new PvP arenas, new enemies, PvP prestige ranks, and a battle barge expansion as well. And then in Season 3, you'll have some season pass content as well, including a champion pack, cosmetic pack, weapon skin pack, and then another champion pack will be added. With Season 4, that'll be later in 2025 as well. Horde mode, new enemy type, and new weapon will be added as well. And then with the season pass, you'll get champion pack, cosmetic pack, weapon skin pack, and champion pack as well for that. So a lot of content being rolled out as far as that's concerned. Now let's break down the individual editions because I'm sure there's some interest in that. If you buy the base game, you'll get the game on September the 9th. You'll get the game and the pre-order bonus of the Chosen DLC. Then you have the Gold Edition, which is priced at $89.99, base game $59.99, but again, Green Man Gaming, if you're buying it on PC, is the place to go. Get it a little cheaper. You got the 4-day, quote-unquote, early unlock. Y'all know how I feel about that. Not really early unlock. They can promote it however they want, but the Gold Edition will also offer you the Season Pass, and that'll get you that premium content. And then the Ultra Edition will be available, including everything from the Gold Edition, and the Ultramarines Champion Pack will be available as well. And to just clarify, the Champion Pack is more cosmetic content, so the Season Pass content is cosmetic stuff. Take that for what you will. There's a lot of debate on the monetization of games. Look, the only thing I hate is the early access gimmick where really the people that dare to spend only $60 on a video game, y'all gotta wait, and the people that want to drop the $90 or $100, they're gonna be getting the game on the actual release date. The game is done, it's ready to go. I hope more and more people wisen up to that. I don't think it's gonna change anything. There's so many publishers doing this at this point, but it's something I still want to reiterate every time it does happen. We also do have PC system requirements that I want to go over. Not that intensive, but all we have is minimum and recommended for the time being. We have a Ryzen 5 2600X or an Intel Core i5 8600K at minimum, 8 gigs of RAM, which is a little bit surprising given how many games are moving towards 16 gigs being minimum, but there you go with that. RX 580 or a GeForce GTX 1060. Just looking at these system requirements from a minimum standpoint, it does seem like the game is going to be able to run on a Steam Deck ROG Ally. That is my interpretation of these settings. We'll have to get official confirmation. And then recommended Ryzen 7 5800X, Intel Core i7 12700, 16 gigs of RAM, RX 6800 XT, and an RTX 3070. That is for 60 FPS in 1920 by 1080 and on the Ultra preset. So if you are looking to run this game at 4K or even 1440p at Ultra, buckle up because it's going to be a fairly difficult game to run. And then, by the way, minimum is for 30 FPS in 1920 by 1080 with the low preset. That's to be expected. Again, if that is going to be able to be ran on like a Steam Deck, that's probably what you're looking at. That is going to do it for me. Again, incredibly excited about Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I think as far as a co-op action game goes, or even if you're playing it solo, this is going to be an absolutely brutal, bloody, gory experience to go into, and it's going to have a lot of replayability. They've already outlined a lot of content updates, and think what you want as far as, you know, my interpretation of microtransactions and whatnot. The premium content does seem to be cosmetics only, so you know, I don't have a big deal with that. More so have a big deal with the early access gimmick, but that'll do it for me. Again, if you want the game cheaper on PC, you'll get a Steam key, 13% off, an even deeper discount if you're an XP member at GMG. Link in the description box below for that. Definitely do check that out. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.